What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Schmoedown Replay. We are the Cinefanatics. There we are. My name is Chris Adams.
And I'm Robert Adams.
And man, we've got a good one for you tonight. It is going to be the match Jeff Sneider versus Robert Montano. Oh, man. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
I forgot my earbuds. Let's go ahead and get those popped in real quick because I might need them here in a minute. This could be a fantastic match. Only so much that we've got essentially one of the biggest veterans of the Schmoedown versus one of the OGs of reacting to the Schmoedown. I can't wait for how this is going to turn out, and I'm extremely excited. Because of that, though, we do have our guest for tonight is let me see. Make sure this is actually connected. Cool. Our guest for tonight is the veteran that I'm talking about. It is the one, the only, the Mr. Scoops himself, the InSneider, Jeff Sneider. Welcome to the stream, sir.
There he is.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Good to see you, Chris and Robert.
Yeah. Thanks so much for being on, man. Glad to have you here.
So real quick before we jump into this match, we actually let's be honest, we haven't had that much interaction with you before. I think we talked to you at the meet and greet at Spectacular, and that's roughly about it. So it was really awesome to hear that you're down for doing this show. Absolutely.
Dude, I'm approachable. I play a heel because I don't like anyone else in the league, okay? Except for Mark Andreco and Roxy Stryer. Everyone else is an enemy, but the fans, you can ask me to do your podcast. I'll do all the videos. I have a blast with it.
Right.
That's awesome. Yeah. So again,
the higher profile ones too. I mean, I'm honored to be here. What I'm trying to say.
Well, again, thank you for coming on. It's an honor to have you here. By the way, fantastic heel work. I know when people are talking about the heels of the Schmoedown, everyone goes for Guy. Now they're all going for Hannah. Some people still remember Roca. I feel like that we're some of the ones that are dude, but you got to admire the heel work of Jeff
John
Sneider.
Roca's too lovable, and Andrew Guy is a bad actor.
Although, did you see his full uncut promo that he did for his recent match against Bateman?
I don't know that I did.
I think they only showed it on the Action Industries YouTube channel on their live stream they did a couple of nights ago. He showed the full unedited, nerd chronic clip of him sitting in the car in his persona where he's just going nuts, and it was a blast. It was absolutely amazing, his work on that.
Yeah.
If you say so, Robert. I think Andrew Guy's lucky to be a good-looking kid.
Anyways, we're not here to talk about Andrew Guy being a heel. We're here to talk about one of the originators of the heel work done on the Schmoedown when it first started. I mean, again, fantastic work. I will be Garth McMurray already in the chat. Sneider is a heel. I consider him brutally honest. I mean, kind of, yeah. There's a lot of times where you've come in with that and been like, hey.
Real quick to note, what I love is that you've actually been probably one of the more consistent individuals, personalities within the actual game itself too. Going back from when you first sprung onto the scene even till now. I know there was a transition once the Lions Den was breaking up and everything, that some people were saying oh, is Sneider going face? Is he going? It looks like he's going face. And no, why would you do that?
Christian tried that for a week. It didn't work.
Exactly.
This guy's just inherently unlikable,
I think it's the same situation. You look at Rachel Cushing. He's never going to take Rachel Cushing heel, and I don't think there's any way that you could ever be taken face. It's just you
want to be a face. What a boring life.
Exactly. The heels have more fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's like blonde.
Yeah. I always had this dream idea of say the two of us playing Late to the Party, and we would come in as the heel reactors. The problem is he's way too nice to ever be considered a heel at anything. He just
shut up. Shut up.
I mean, I could probably do it because I work in customer service in real life. I could be a heel. That's easy.
And you're a jackass.
Oh, kind of, yeah. So the other thing I want to touch upon real quick, again, going back to the fact that you're one of the veterans in this game. What's your opinion so far as to how the game has been over the course of years? Like, what stuff has changed? How's it evolved? Is there stuff that you've liked how it evolved, you didn't like? What's some stuff that you've really acknowledged? How's it been with you?
Nice.
I mean, I just, to me, the question has always been, who is the game for? Is it for the competitors or is it for the fans? I wish that the questions were a little bit tougher, but I understand why you have to keep them at a certain level, particularly for round one, to let people be part of the game. You don't want to be the whole point of watching Jeopardy is to see if the audience can outsmart the three competitors. It's not so much fun when you're just being stumped the entire time. So I get it, but I do feel like if matches were a little bit longer and a little bit harder, there'd be different winners.
Yeah. Have you seen the fan leagues and the questions that get asked in there? Because it's famously known the fan league questions are much harder.
I have not really watched too much of the fan leagues. I've seen a few matches here and there, but it's definitely been a while, so I don't know what they're like these days, what the level of competition is. I think anyone who's in a fan league trying to crack the actual league, that's probably the way you got to do it. Is just start with the tough stuff and work your way down.
100%, yeah, for sure. And that's the thing. There's just so much fan league content to try to catch up on if anyone tries to. So it's not a big deal if a lot of people aren't able to get
excellent
on.
match. So you guys have. I'll give you my email, but you know how to reach me, obviously. So send me a link. I'm down to check out the title match in the fan league or whatever if it's a great one.
Sure, I know.
I know this is the thing. I don't think we've kept up with the fan leagues that much either. Just we're just super busy.
Enough to keep up with their Schmoedown. There's a match every day. I get it.
Yeah.
That is the big piece of it. But so one of the other things before we get into this match here, I know that you've had high praise of Roxy as a manager. Specifically, what do you find that she does as a manager really that you think you most connect with as opposed to say what maybe some of the other managers might do?
I mean, listen, she keeps me calm. She keeps me focused. Mm-hmm. And it always is nice having a beautiful woman in your corner rooting for you, right? I mean, Roxy she's a great motivator and she really cares. She's a good person. She's someone who I'd actually, like to hang out with. So, yeah, I mean, as much as I have fond memories of Tom and the Lion's Den, I think it's hard to argue with the job Roxy's been doing lately.
That's very fair. I mean, that's something that has been said. She is one of the managers that I think cares the most about the game and the league as a whole, too.
So let's move on to the match. Let's get this playing. Let's dive into this because I'm eager to see how this turns out.
Oh yeah.
Let's take a look.
For those of you guys watching, just keep in mind that the two of us Adams brothers have not yet seen this match, so don't drop any spoilers in the chat. And if you do, feel free to drop them with a Streamlab donation.
I have a question.
Are
you guys actual brother? Are you brothers? You're not brothers, are you?
Yeah.
Welcome
we
back,
are brothers.
ladies and gentlemen, to the movie.
Oh my God!
Schmoedown. It is the ultimate Schmoedown.
I understand it's kind of hard because I look like Sean Chandler, who also has a YouTube channel, and he looks like Alex Damon.
I think we're going to have one of those.
We don't look like brothers at all.
Mark Ellis joins me as always.
Yeah, everyone keeps saying that I'm like the long-lost brother of Alex Damon for some reason.
I don't look like my brother.
And the reason why is because, like you said, this tournament
Look at Molly on display.
Sure, but you never know how a tournament's going to play.
That's like prime Molly
We have
hogging
seen
the
just about
spotlight.
every possible scenario you could possibly have in any
My dad,
tournament. And now
he liked
we
Mark
get
Cap.
an old favorite versus somebody who came from being a fan to now playing in the big leagues. Hey, hang on.
That's a bachelor couch.
Yes, I'm following Jeff
You
Sneider.
know, like the brown leather
That was a
couch.
close call.
Oh,
Kinda.
It's all sad. But
By the
look,
way,
when
did you ever
mentioned
sell your?
this match
Were
here,
you selling your
Robert
couch at
Montano
Spectacular?
versus Jeff Sneider, and Robert, of
It
course,
was. I
from
wish I'd held
Party's
on to
name,
it because I
Robert
threw it
was
out
like,
and
you
now
look
I
at
need it.
people like Paul Oyama and Chance Ellison and
Here's
Kevin
the downside.
Spence,
Kind of
people
like
who were
I guess
fans
get right
first,
into this match, and
then
I'm really
became
kicking
Schmoedown
myself.
competitors.
At
Well,
Spectacular,
Robert and Vanessa and Tim
you had a
Franco,
table
those
set
were
up,
the
kind of
original
like you were doing a
three. They were
garage
people
sale.
who were
Yes.
Sold
Schmoedown,
Late to the
who started
Party,
reacting to the
the
Schmoedown,
Back to the
noticed
Future
on it, they
shoes.
came and they played.
I
And
wanted
they played. They had some great
Oh,
matches.
I'm
Remember
sorry,
that
man.
match
You
against,
got to move quickly on that
they
kind
were
of
a thing. They upset
Yeah.
critically acclaimed, who was
Oh
supposed to
my
win the whole
gosh.
tournament, and that's Bibiani and Whitney when they were a team. And
So no
knocked them
matter
out
who
in the
wins or
first
loses, I
round.
mean,
So
Late to the Party wins.
he
They
was a
got
very
those
knowledgeable
shoes.
dude and could do very well. Sam,
They do have the shoes. My roommate made those from scratch.
at free agency.
Oh, they looked awesome
Yeah, so
because
we
I
have
know Robert
Jeff
Robert
Sneider,
was
we
pretty
have
much
him as
carrying
an
those around
established
throughout the
entity.
rest of the
I've
day.
always been so curious about his nonchalant attitude really towards life, but particularly about the Schmoedown. Is he relaxed, and is that part of his
Lone
game
Star.
plan, getting into his opponent's head, or does he just not put forth the effort that you see the competitors
Spaceballs.
at the top of the heap do nowadays that we're into
Dude,
the new
feel like
era
that went
season
without
7
saying.
with Robert
I feel like
Montano, Christian,
I feel like this is a
think he
stupid
needs
question,
some
but
sort of moniker to
were
really
you
describe
walking
who
into
he
this
is
match
at this
with
point in
confidence that
his
you were going to
life?
win
I
this
mean,
one for
you're
sure?
the nickname guru. Hey, you gave me baby carrots.
Yeah.
What are we?
I mean, I've seen Roberts like react. Like he is good. He knows his stuff.
Montana.
Yeah.
But I
Oh,
feel like
he's
if
a
I
body
couldn't
cracker.
beat
He
him,
comes
then
in-
yeah, what am I
he
even
comes
doing
in
playing
here
the
and he's
game?
able to do what he does well, whether it's
But at the
joining
same
from the
time,
couch and becoming a competitor, upsetting.
never know what can
someone in the first
happen.
round. He's the party crasher, there's
Yeah.
no doubt. But if you,
That's true. I mean, the
addressing Jeff
Schmoedown
Sneider,
wheel
Jeff
spins,
Sneider,
anything. It
I
can go
believe is
either
one
way
of
at
the
any
more
given point for
underrated
sure.
competitors in the history of the movie.
So I
Schmoedown.
feel like it's
When
a
there's
stupid question because I think
conversations are
that
always about great
I hate
players,
that
he
wheel.
doesn't come up with
what we've
He's a
seen of you is
two-time
that you
team
walk
champion.
into pretty
He's
much
a
all your matches with
phenomenal
confidence,
player, and he's elevated
and
any
that's
team
just who
he's
you
ever
are.
been on, and he
Yes,
is a
irrational
solid
confidence.
single
There are
player.
still some people who
He's
I
close to
genuinely
the
like
title
afraid
in
of.
number
You know,
one
like
contender matches, and then just
forget about how he
in
beat
New
me.
York.
It
I've said
scares
this
me.
about a couple players.
McWeeny
but none
scares
can
me
be-
just
can
because I know
look
those
up to
guys and they're
Jeff
film critics.
Sneider
And I know
is his
like
own worst
how many
enemy
movies
at
they're
times. He
seeing
had
a
this
year.
monumental run with the Patriots. I don't
And
know
how
if it'll
far
work.
they've
They
been
almost
doing
went
it
10
for a
and
long
0. They went
time.
9-1 with
Tough being a
title
younger
defenses,
person.
9-2 total, six
Not,
six
you know.
defenses. And
I
at
love that
point,
shirt.
When it was over, he was burnt out, and you could see it in his face. And when he joined
Yeah,
back
when you're
with
going up
Mark
against someone who's
Draco
like McWeeny,
and
who's like
Roxy
been
Striar,
around the
that love
block
came
quite a
back,
few
and they won the
times,
titles.
knows
Yeah,
That
like
is
him and
his
Viv.
knowledge is just like
phase now of I did a lot. I don't know if I don't know. I haven't seen the
That's
guy.
why
I've
Viv
never
and the
heard
kid
from
are
the
such a
guy.
great
You
team.
can get a Jeff Sneider that can beat any single person,
The
or
age.
the Jeff Sneider that can be beat by any single person. I don't know who we're getting today.
I think
Well, now
like
I think I know.
so
what we're
I
getting at
played
Jeff Sneider
I
to
played
play.
McWeeny,
Why?
and
Because
I
he
was
is
like,
manager.
I think first of
But
all,
you-
like of
you
course,
look at how
obviously
Rocky Striar and the
it was my
Rockstars
first
just
time,
push
and I'm
their
like,
competitors
yeah,
to the next
I get
level.
to
They're
play.
constantly
And then I was
quizzing
like,
their
oh
communication.
crap,
I
I'm
think
playing
that
McWeeny.
If Roxy is that Vince Lombardi lighting the fire under,
Yeah.
I'm not going
I
to
mean,
give him far
McWeeny-
Right out the
I
gate.
was going to say that Jeff Sneider
If
has
anything
totally
can be
raised
said about
his
Drew, like if anything bad can be said about him as a player, it's just like he's forgotten so much already. Like, he's just been around and seen so much. He's already started
We're
forgetting
gonna
things.
find out
You know?
exactly how we got here today.
that'll he's forgotten more than
Because we're just here to party.
Some people know. Yeah.
yeah.
We're going to bring everybody to the Schmoedown,
Okay.
whether it's late.
So
on
we
time,
do have to give it up to like some of the originators here of reacting. Robert and Vanessa, late to the party.
The guy has been doing the fan reaction videos, and he would play along, and he would crush it.
Innovators. You guys think you do after shows and after podcasts
Oh,
and reactions?
hey.
We started all
Well,
that.
those two guys
I'm
look
late to the
familiar.
Party over here.
You guys made it in.
Who have been fans and then come over to the league. People tend
Should have
to
known that
forget
Eric was
Late
going to
the
do that.
Party were the first.
By the way,
where there's these fans
I like Robert and Vanessa.
ah,
They-
look,
that they can compete against.
he actually put the clip of you coming in when I was doing the post interview.
Been late to
Oh,
this
wow.
match.
Oh,
You could have spared
Yeah.
yourself
Yeah.
the absolute beating that I'm about to give you. I've been here once before, but this time I'm going solo.
I've got to split the party as of right now. I have chosen to go with Sam Levine and the Usual Suspects.
That's such a
It's
good movie.
crazy that nobody picked this guy up before I did. He is going to bring that same confidence and knowledge that he has when he's playing at
Sam
home.
Levine, now that's a good actor.
Playing at home.
Yeah. I feel like he said that exact phrase like multiple times this season. It's crazy that no one picked up this
Playing
person.
A legend is beating one. William Bibiani knows what it feels like.
You did call me a legend. That's nice of
We'll
Robert.
know that feeling soon enough.
He's a fan. He's always going to be a fan. How many fans have we let into the league? They're all going to get exposed in this tournament. You know, you put him up stage with
Fighting
best
words,
players.
boy.
For all. I barely answered a question right. Did he even get one right? I don't even know. I wasn't paying attention to him because he doesn't scare me.
Jeff Sneider should, for all intents and purposes, be on the Mount Rushmore of the Schmoedown, but nobody ever wants to give him the credit or respect that he deserves.
I honestly could see that. Not that you're here and I'm trying to placate you. I actually do kind of believe that. Yeah.
In round one.
Listen, people like they talk about Dan Cushing. It's just because like they're likable.
I've got an appetite.
Yeah.
The beast's got to get fed.
I
And
mean-
Robert Montano,
They're great too. But
Appetizer.
see you in the ring.
You had a lot of fun with
Perfect.
that.
Perfect.
Well, there's no doubt about it. We already had a massive upset in the tournament with Perry Nemiroff defeating Mike Kalinowski. It was that is
was a big deal.
That one, huh?
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Robert beating Jeff.
I just love when Mike Kalinowski fans are silenced.
Robert has
in my
never played a
Facebook
single
chat.
before. He does know teams, but if you want to compare
Holy
teams, you look
crap.
at what Sneider has done. Sneider is arguably, if not, he's the best teams player that has ever played.
Yeah.
There's no
Say
doubt
that
about
again, Christian.
There's some sort of looming specter where anything about Jeff Sneider.
You want me to
is
rewind
just
it? I can
tossed
rewind
in
it.
the
And
air.
you can say
No,
We can rewind it and play it again. I mean,
No.
we could change this from the Schmoedown replay to the Schmoedown rewind. Oh, we can't do that.
Their combined knowledge.
That's already in another show.
Has before in a singles match, but he's got a formidable foe.
We can rewind it anyways.
Christian,
Yeah.
it's about to get hot, heavy, and a whole lot of moves.
That's the other thing is like we haven't even touched upon your like championship run there with the belt.
Take 3 or 4 minutes because
Like
the
Patriots were fantastic.
and the rock stars.
We sure were, but that's ancient history at this point, Robert. I got to earn it myself again.
And they went after it, and you
Find my
saw
way back
Rock
to the
Stryer is.
I'm just saying, like in this virtual world, I mean,
now, Sam usually doesn't
at
get
some
bothered by this
point,
stuff, but
maybe
I agree with
teams,
Sam, because
if we
remember
could
the
see a
game-
reformation of the Patriots,
they Sam's team
because
of
you
above
did
the-
vouch for,
You didn't think, Robert. Mike,
for
you knew that.
they didn't
we
do it the first
were
time
sitting
around, but
there
a lot
in
of
the
hits.
audience at the
There's a
draft.
lot
You
of
did vouch for JTE
I don't know
to
what
be a
this
part
is like
of
this
the
is
Rock
for
Stars.
Sam, but we're going to find
Yeah,
out. because
why
the
is he not?
manager
We're
of
playing
the
virtually
Rock
this year.
Stars,
Why is he not then?
Rocky Stryer, and the manager of the Usual
I
Suspects.
mean, this is perfect time to play
French,
virtually.
At least a better.
Exactly.
You're like
Would have been a
country
nice guy to
away.
have on the faction. Would have been a real nice guy to have.
Here, Sam, I got to ask you because of your history with Jeff Sneider here. Do you tell Robert anything different going into this? Do you any strategies from things that you used to beat Jeff in the past, or you just hope Jeff shows up?
No, it was very easy. I just had to remind Robert how wildly overrated Jeff is as a player, and he was the drum master in teams. That was crazy.
Fighting words coming from a guy who retired.
And there's nothing scary about Jeff Sneider. He can be cut pretty easily. He bleeds like any other competitor. So I
Fair.
just told Robert, man, play your best game, man.
Do they
Play-
keep
play
y'all
it
like backstage, like
reaction,
down below on the StreamYard while this is going on?
Just Jeff Sneider. It's not like he's
So
everyone-
you're,
so this is
you're
nothing.
watching
Good question. I don't know if this is pre-recorded or
Never
not.
go to the 30th floor of any building. That's just a word to the wise.
No, you're right. No. That is
Talk
going
about
to
your
the left.
competitor
Yeah.
pre-show, and we say
So
we
you're
know
like
that you
kept,
don't know
you're
about
kept
movies,
down
but
below.
sometimes
I
needs
guess
that
you're right. I guess I
control
have heard that
in a
before.
Singles match. How have you been able to provide that? nudge
Say
forward?
it again, Sam. Say it again in my
Honestly,
face.
I don't even know that I have to, considering you guys just did it for me. Thank you for all of the crap talk, because you
What a
guys know
goddess.
if there's something a Bostonian loves, it's being doubted and talks to like crap. So thank you, Christian, for saying that anybody could beat him. Thank you, Sam, for saying he can bleed. And thank you, Mark Ellis. I'm not sure what you did yet, but I'm sure it's coming down the line on the show today. So, you know, I'm really excited because I don't have to push Jeff.
Here's what they Roxy knows how to handle that mic. She is good at
fair
that.
enough here. Sam
spits
and
fire.
Roxy both are struggling for points right now. As you're moving through,
Her going up against Shannon Barney was absolutely
and
amazing.
Draco was it was a tough one there, Sam, but you know, this is a time. This could be revenge here too. So, how do you feel as far as the faction points go? Do you have to beat Roxy here today?
Do I have to? It would be nice to, but I don't know that this is a make or break match. I don't want to put that kind of pressure on it. Look, it's always nice to pick up points when you can.
I mean,
I think today there's a
pretty sure
pretty
Usual
easy
Suspects
chance
is in
to
the
pick up
last
some points for
place
sure.
right
It'd be
now,
great,
so
but
I think
I
it
don't
probably
wanna put that
is.
kind of pressure on Robert.
Probably is a
Are
make
you
or
guys
break.
into the factions in the point system?
Fair enough. All
Keeping
right,
up with it as much as possible.
Let's move Roxy out of there.
To me, it's just like
the managers are ready, and
when you have different number of matches, I don't understand how a point system can matter that much.
Where you talk, there are not a lot of people who can manage Jeff Sneider. There really isn't. He'll tell you just as much too. She's done it very well. She did it very well. Dagno did it very well.
I understand as much as possible. I was just like, the two of us aren't really like huge like sports minded people, so this is kind of the majority of sports that we get is with the Schmoedown. So
I mean,
that's why I asked. Some people are super into it.
Pulling back the curtain, we enjoy watching football. We know enough about football just to be able to enjoy watching it. We get the idea of like what's a good play, what's not, what all that football terminology. We don't keep up with stats. I don't understand. Like I won't keep track of like who's the best at like rushing yards and stuff like
Trivia Schmoedown.
This is our sport.
All right. The Usual Suspects making his Schmoedown singles debut. He is Robert, the Party Crasher.
Party Crasher, nice.
Party Crasher.
That's a really good name.
Robert, how are you? Robert, look, man, it's been a pleasure always having you in the league. This is the first time that you have ever been on a different team or faction than Vanessa. So
I don't know how I feel about the setup, the screen of just him in the middle. Like I'm so used to like Robert
side by side.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Side by side.
Oh, there's the shoes.
From a partnership.
Oh, he's got him on there. Yes.
Where I'm just training
Oh,
on my
that
own. She trains on her
That's
own.
so funny.
I've got mine. And then
So, hey, Robert, where'd you get those shoes from?
They're awesome looking.
Got it from my opponent.
So funny. Those things were in my apartment for years.
What she's learning, I have no clue what she's doing on her end. And I like that. You know, it definitely makes me my own person when it comes to.
All right. Apparently, I need to up my
I'm excited.
my baby Yoda.
It's another legend like Jeff Sneider.
Yeah, right.
Let's get to it. I'm excited.
I'm literally taking a photo to send to my old
Have,
roommate.
obviously, everybody's favorite frog on there. Now, when you look at your nickname, the Party Crasher, our comedian friend Darren Carter is the Party Starter. Now, you're the Party Crasher. What does that nickname say about you and the sort of attitude you want to bring to today's matchup?
Well, the biggest thing was, ending late to the party when it comes to the Schmoedown. I was the
would've
one
been cool.
that sought out.
That would have been cool to see.
Some sort of manager. I wanted some leadership. I was the
What
one
happened
to find somebody who would work best for me.
I've been to Boston. That is a nice city. Like I went there.
The first
unfortunately, there was a lot of stuff that I really wasn't interested in seeing until I physically got there. And I'm like, dude, this city is awesome.
A perfect round.
I enjoyed that trip up there.
Point when it came to teams, Actually, who is also on my faction,
Especially the Sam Adams Brewery.
who was also on my faction at the time. So we're all about crashing the parties.
And
we're all
believe
about
me,
upsetting
two boys from Texas. We know about our
It
brewery.
ain't gonna happen. Sneider, I'm here to stop that.
all right. Well, there is Robert. Thank
You
you.
guys go to the Cheers bar while you were here?
Opponent.
I went to
And his Opponent.
I went to the one. I didn't go to both. I went to one of them. The one that's downstairs.
Yeah, that's the big one. Yeah.
Former.
That's the one. I know one is like the mock-up that the show was based off of, and that the other one was just made as like a fan hangout type of place. And I think the one downstairs was the one that was. Oh, fantastic!
I would expect nothing less.
That's the one thing I've loved about
Jeff,
what you've been
you
doing
have
lately is
been
just this
out
crazy,
for a little bit.
wild
Not
outfits.
competing, just the interviews.
Hey, man, I got him in the closet. Why not wear him?
Has been going on.
Here's the thing, like,
No signals, no teams. To where
there's,
you had
there's
made
a
your name
strategy
for it.
idea behind that, right? I mean,
Yeah,
like that's
don't
why
take me seriously. Underestimate me at your own peril.
it's kind of the same reason, and I'm surprised Robert didn't do it this time. But Late to the Party has also been one of those ones that has really good like entrances and costumes.
Is wondering where his best
You
dinner
guys
jacket
notice
went.
that I just took the glasses off though, because you could see
Yeah.
the reflection in the screen.
A lot of competitors who are winning championships who have
Of the match.
study, and that is the bulk of their preparation. It's just constant quizzing and testing and watching.
By the way,
movies.
kudos though going shirtless under the jacket.
Thank you. Thank you.
An hour before the match starts. I don't study at all. I mean, I'm always testing myself, that kind of stuff. But do I hit the books? Do I have flashcards or a friggin' Excel doc like some people in this league? No.
All right, here we go.
Okay,
Robert,
so there was a cut there,
The
obviously.
competitors had hit the battlefield and mark round number one.
We took a detour. We got a Mountain Dew. We're back on the highway with round number one, gentlemen. 8.
We didn't get to call it out. Usually, whenever we're doing a replay here of a Rockstars match, I always shout out that Rockstars theme is probably my favorite of all the themes.
Oh, because of like the shipping up to Boston.
Yeah, the shipping up to Boston aspect of it.
Write down your best attempt at an answer with whatever writing utensil you prefer on whatever writing surface you provided for yourself.
So you will notice though that because I noticed it in this match, my answers are tough to read, and it's because of the light that's right here. And so, I haven't seen anybody calling me out for that, but I'll definitely be cognizant of it.
Right. If you're not sure,
later,
gotta get that
maybe.
information from the back of your head to the front of your head, and 15 seconds ain't gonna cut it. Use a JTE rule. You also each have one challenge to be utilized at any point throughout the 3-round match. You as the competitor may.
Yeah, we haven't watched this, so we're going to be playing along as we go.
We're going to test our metal.
They look ready to go. They have their whiteboard. Well, they were ready to go, and then Sneider leaned back. So I don't even know if he knows he's competing.
Well, we're going to find out. Jeff, you ready?
There's nothing wrong with being comfortable while on camera.
Was that the shot that Roxy was expecting?
Ready to Schmoedown. Round number one, question number one in the realm of action/adventure. Gentlemen, who directed 2005's The Island?
Favorite island you ever been to, Christian? I think I know the answer.
It's an easy one, right, guys?
Oh, for sure. This is one of my favorite of his movies. Because
wait,
Manhattan.
Wait, who are we talking about here?
Really? Oh, I know what's happening. Never mind.
I mean, Spielberg has much better movies, right?
And Robert,
seriously,
Michael Bay.
Correct. All right, let's go to
Michael
the
Bay.
next question.
All right, gentlemen, the next question is.
It's by far my favorite of his movies. To be honest.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it is. I know,
Guys,
like Bad Boys. Bad Boys is up there, but
Bad Boys, The Rock,
in the 2001.
The
film.
Rock is good, though. I mean,
Armageddon. What is wrong with you guys?
Christian, do you know why? Because there's a
I don't know if
John
I
Rowe.
Armageddon.
Criterion Collection title.
New Jersey town. Where
All right, you guys get this one?
Brooklyn Bridge.
3, 2, 1. Pens down.
You're gonna give me a question about Wolverine. I'm gonna know it.
Wait.
Nothing. Okay.
Didn't get the repeat in
there
time.
was no delay there, Sam. There's no delay.
Oh,
He
Did
missed
not
it.
get the JTE rule.
Was he trying to JTE?
Yeah.
he tried to get the JTE right after he got to 0. And Sam is going, we'll see what happens.
I'm asking you a question.
What?
We're not going to challenge. I just want you to know you started that countdown at 4, not 5, Christian. I love the bits, but the countdown starts at 5.
It didn't start at 5.
No,
I heard 5.
Seems,
All
Seems like he knows how to count to 5.
Huh.
Fine. Go ahead. I'm just letting you know.
Woo!
Well, I can't
By the way,
I-
it has been confirmed. I've seen in the comments on YouTube. He said 5.
6 seconds it mattered.
First of all, show me your answer. What do you got?
Is it Hugh Jackman?
It is. All right. So
You guys get that?
2-1.
Yeah.
2-1.
All right.
And now we get to our next question. Question number 3. Dramas, which this match already has become. Nicholas Hoult plays a famous fantasy author who was a soldier during World War I in what 2019 biopic?
Yeah, those JTE rules. It's that 1,
See,
it's that 0.
Guys,
You gotta
there's too many
hit that
context clues here.
before we hit.
Watch this, Mark. 5,
And I've seen that before. Like some of those, like
2.
there was a Rocketeer question
And
that I know I would have gotten just off of it, just saying who the actors were. It happens.
yes, Robert.
Okay,
Jane
I
Fonda.
did not put the I before E.
He did the James
I
Fonda thing.
thought
3-1.
Tolkien.
3-1. Sarah goes
Tolkien.
up by 2
Yeah, you
here.
didn't do it either. But I mean,
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, neither one of you had a spell. It's all right.
Category of movie quotes, gentlemen, and your question.
Neither one of us remember our grade
What
school
crime
spelling
film
rules.
has the line, "The greatest trick the devil ever pulled"?
oh come on.
Exists.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Well, also
Yeah,
very good
exactly. I know what you're thinking. I was thinking the same
We're
thing.
the person who's on that faction.
5,
That's not
4,
fair.
3, 2, 1. Pens down, please, Robert.
I should be kicked off the team for not getting this one. The Usual Suspects.
Yes. And
Yeah.
The Usual Suspect.
Oh,
correct.
it's like one of my favorite movies ever.
right?
Yes.
Is 4-2 as we get to
Mine
it.
too.
Okay.
Such a good movie.
Fantasy sci-fi.
I still like watching it with people who haven't seen it before.
Who
Yeah.
plays Walter Paddock, who is the evil man in black in the 2017
really? This is
Dark
the
Tower.
other one.
All right, so Christian, since we asked the usual suspects question,
Didn't we
do
just-
have to ask a
Yes.
Well,
We saw the counterpart to this
movie question
yesterday.
now?
It's the next question.
Oh, I want to talk about spelling.
It's the next
Hold
one
on.
the docket. 5,
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, you're about to see it, Robert. Wait until you see this thing.
down,
Here's the
please.
thing. We're from Austin.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yes, Robert.
We can't spell his name right.
McConaughey.
Also
yes.
agree. Your
Matthew
post-answer-
McConaughey? I don't know.
McConaughey.
All right, I'll watch the swearing.
Yeah,
You
watch-
you should know the spelling. Your partner was.
I know how to spell.
Yeah, I just threw some letters together. I don't know if that
we knew
Matthew
that's different as far as what we're
McConaughey.
doing, so-
I think I did about as good as Robert did there.
It's all right, Robert.
Yeah, neither one of you were great.
Next question.
Here's the thing. As people from Austin, where Matthew McConaughey lives and is famous for being from, we can't even spell his name right.
I
I
think
can
it's
spell Sandra Bullock's name.
What 1980s comedy
Sure.
stars John Cleese, Jamie Lee Curtis, Michael Palin, and Kevin Kline?
Yes.
Sam Levine is 100% the McEnroe of coaches.
For those at home, McConaughey, MC, like every other Irish, McCon, C-O-N, you're halfway there, A-U-T-H-E-Y.
Yeah. All right, let's go with
And now I'll never forget it.
Robert.
Ken is going to kill me. A fish called Wanda.
Yes, Snyder.
I don't know what that quote was.
It's called Wanda.
Yes, sir. 6-4.
A fish.
A fish named Wanda. Oh,
We both missed it
As
there.
we get to
You both said a fish named Wanda?
Thriller.
I just didn't write the right title.
Oscar-winning actress.
Did you both said a fish
Oh.
named Wanda?
2018's Suspiria.
Got 2 questions left. And then
which
Jeff Snyder
Oscar-winning actress plays
Bonus
multiple
question.
roles in Suspiria?
Really?
Ooh.
I don't like horror movies, and I know this.
Absolutely.
5.
Oh
Hurry, Robert. Hurry, Robert.
no, I'm not gonna get it in time.
You know it though.
Jeff Snyder.
Yes,
You know
I
it, though.
do. Yes,
Swinton.
it is Tilda Swinton.
Robert.
Dang it!
Didn't have it.
Tilda
All right,
Swinton.
7-4. Snyder.
Oh,
goes up
I'm
to
pissed that I can't remember that.
3 as we get to our
Good
Here
job.
I am on the verge of yet another perfect round. And what do you think the category is? What do you think it is?
round number 2.
Animated.
Could have another 2-point swing here, Christian. And the question: in the world of animated movies drawn by a computer,
Like, what is wrong with this game that you can guess that so easily?
led their voices to what DreamWorks animation film in the year 2000?
Kevin Kline and Kenneth Branagh.
Like I did, I set that up. It wasn't in the question. I set
Guys, this is the question that the Shire Wolves had.
connection from Mark to
5
Chris.
pointer.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah, I can't remember.
1. Pens down, please.
I blanked.
And Robert.
Me too.
Eldorado?
Eldorado's not correct. The InSneider?
Is it the Prince of Egypt?
No, it was the
No, you got close, Robert. It was actually the road to El Dorado.
Oh,
Prince of Egypt. I was with you there, Jeff.
Yeah, I'd heard that before, and I was like, I don't even remember what the hell the answer was.
7-4
Yeah.
game as the perfect round is missed by
Nope.
Sneider, but it is 7.
not bad. Got 6.
Round at number 2. Mark, how do the rules go in number 2?
Dude, I am kicking myself on that Tilda Swinton one.
Oh.
And it's virtual.
And he'll be
It's
doing
not
that the rest of the
going
night,
near
mind you.
either one of yours apartments. So you spin the virtual wheel with your mind. Once we
Should
start
or not necessarily her, but the person who did the makeup on her as the old dude in Suspiria, that should have won the Oscar easily, without question.
in round number 2.
I
So
don't
if
think
you're not-
I've seen a better makeup job on an actor or actress
is the correct answer. At that point, the value
as that one. And the fact that she got credited as a completely different person for that role is amazing.
Anyway, so as we enter round number 2, Jeff Sneider is going to have a chance to chat with.
By the way, I really like horror movies and I'm pretty passionate about them.
I didn't like Suspiria at all, the remake.
The remake?
Yeah.
Sam and
Did you like the original?
You got 60 seconds.
It's okay. Like, I get why it's like considered a classic, but it's not like a favorite.
We're such a champ. What are you thinking? How are you feeling? You want to spin first?
I'm the exact opposite.
but
I
part of
do
me
not
also
like horror
wants to put
movies.
a little
They are
pressure
not my
on
genre.
Robert.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you know what? Let's make Robert go first.
All right, I like that. First is the worst anyway. Second is
That's
the
it.
best. We all know you're the best. Let's do it.
Three
We're gonna have
three
Robert-
point deficit. Now, granted that it's after the round 1, so
Jeff going to bring back both Sam
Wheel
and
spins.
Robert. Sam, you got 60 seconds to talk to Robert starting now.
Okay, dude, we'll get to strategy in a second. Off yours, Christian. I'm just trying to get a fair shake for my players here.
Thanks, Sam.
Second delay for a JTE rule. Take a walk. Okay, Robert, here we go. This is great. Sneider is clearly in his own head right now. He always goes.
I love this. He's in his own head.
He needs to switch that up. This is all you. You and I have talked so much strategy.
fun fact: Tilda is actually an old man, and the beautiful woman is look as the makeup job.
You ready to do this?
Let's do it, man.
Clever.
Bust the deal, spin the wheel.
Whose head am I supposed to be
Here
in?
is the wheel.
No.
Robert as the spin.
You don't. Here's the thing. I get the idea behind like what Sam's talking about. You don't seem like the type of person that lets people get in your head easily at this game.
No.
No, I'm excited to see it.
I deal with way worse people on a daily basis in Hollywood than these people.
I know it's a strength of his, man.
Okay,
So
so
I would say let's try it one more time.
spin it again.
Spun away from Thriller. What a dumb move.
And whatever this one is, obviously, Robert's going to have to play.
That's right.
Is he
That
gonna land
bonus
on?
score's looming out there. He's not worried about it, but he might have hit it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you're right. That was a dumb move.
Oh, no.
Sam, going to bring back.
But unfortunately, it's a dumb move. You don't know until you do it.
I'm going to give you 60 seconds.
I love it immediately
to
pops
decide
up and Roxy's
what you
like,
want to choose starting now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Time the rock stars have a little luck here. How are you feeling? You want to give it to him?
Yeah, let's go Thriller for him.
Perfect.
All right, Thriller then for.
Good luck, Robert.
All right, Thriller it is. Going to bring
Look at that teamwork.
Roxy out.
Didn't even need to talk about it. Didn't even think about it. Boom.
In.
Got
All
it.
right, Robert, you're going to get 4 questions.
He's doing the Thriller
of
dance.
Thriller.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Question 1. All right. Who plays Jim Hudson, who's the man who wins the bid to live in God's body in the film Get Out?
What's his name?
Milton.
Yeah, Milton from Office Space.
Stephen Root.
Stephen Root. Yeah.
Yes.
That's correct. For 2
That's
points.
a good pull by Robert. Good
Next question. William
That
Hurt
is.
played Kevin Costner's alter ego in what psychological
What? What movie was this?
You guys don't know this one?
Multiple choice, please.
Is it A, Perfect World, B,
Oh, Mr. Brooks.
C, Mr. Brooks, D, 3 Days to Kill?
A is an alpha.
C is in cat.
Hold on a second. So, A is an alpha. So I'm going to repeat. I'm going to repeat the. It's incorrect.
Oh, that's lovely.
Jeff now, and that is.
C for cat.
Let me finish the question and the answer and the multiple choice, please, for audio listeners. William Hurt plays Kevin.
The audio.
Dragonfly. Mr. Brooks. Or
Everybody needs their safe space.
That is correct. All right, so Jeff Sneider.
Here's the there is a little bit of something in sports. If the person like gives the wrong answer, you just immediately throw like the slam dunk in there.
Wife and daughter in
Yeah, how do you not know
2009, law-abiding citizen.
Gerard Butler.
Yeah.
Gerard Butler.
It's correct for 2 points. And
His friends call him Jerry.
here it is.
Jerry B.
Jerry B.
This question could break the tie now. It is deadlocked at 8.
This is it. All right, here we go. David Lynch directed Naomi Watts and Justin Theroux in this 2001 neo-noir thriller.
David Lynch.
How about Christian not being able to pronounce noir?
Lynch very well. Multiple choice, please.
Is it A, Lost Highway?
Oh, Mulholland Drive.
C, The Man Who Wasn't There? Or D, The Deep End?
Mulholland Drive was
E.
2001.
Mulholland Drive.
Correct for 1
Wow.
point.
Yep.
All right, so
That's an easy one. You got to get that one, Robert.
Jeff Sneider finds himself.
I had to go to multiple choice though.
And here
I was kind of talking to the Robert I was talking, but
Robert.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where we're gonna get confusing. Yeah.
Why didn't he just write his name Montano in the?
I bet.
Jeff, easy peasy.
Yeah.
You're down by
Because he
one.
probably wasn't thinking, and it makes sense. He wasn't thinking of Robert from Cinefanatics having to react to this later.
right, yeah, that's exactly it.
We've got
Why
lots
not? Come on.
I don't understand. Like all the Schmoedown competitors should be thinking about how people are going to be reacting to their match later on. That should be the first and foremost.
Next question.
I want your feedback on this spin here.
All right, Jeff working his magic to get that spin in, and opponent's choice still working, Christian. So maybe it could be some medicine back to Jeff, but he spins
Eddie Murphy.
instead.
Ooh.
Murphy, 60 seconds.
How are you feeling about this, Jeff?
I don't love it. I don't love it.
All right. Okay. I think that's fine.
But we can't get Thriller, so all we can really get is Leo, Drew, or remake or reboot. So I think we got to do it.
I think that as long as you can take it to multiple choice every time, then you'll be okay.
Oh, let's go with Eddie Murphy, yeah.
Yep, let's do it. You got this, Jeff.
Here's the thing, like strategy wise. Hey, Chris, pause it.
Bring back
Yep.
Robert here. All right, so you're going to get.
Here's the thing, strategy wise. I mean, you're only down by 1 point. So you're actually comfortable with Eddie Murphy, at least vaguely comfortable with it?
Well, I think honestly, I'm good with any actor or actress.
Okay. So yeah,
Any single one.
The strategy thinking here is, even if you take it to multiple choice each and every question, you're probably going to get it right. And it's still a very decent lead. That's a very good strategy play, I would say. Especially
I just didn't want
because
to get Carpenter.
yeah.
Even though I like
that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. If there's other things on the wheel that you may potentially be weaker at, you might as well stick with something that's like medium level and just run multiple choice the entire time if need be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good strategy.
How I do it.
Yeah.
4 questions in the realm of Eddie Murphy movies. Jeff, Mark, are you ready to go?
Yeah, well, I'm still puzzled as to why everybody has such a tough time taking Eddie Murphy movies, one of the greatest living thespians ever. Okay, we move on. Jeff, 4 questions, each one 2 points, unless you want to go to multiple choice. Your first question in the incredible world of Eddie Murphy. Who plays the upper-class executive
Dan Aykroyd. Dan Aykroyd, yeah.
Third in Trading Places?
Multiple choice.
Is it A, Bill Murray, B, Dan Aykroyd, C, Harold Ramis, or D, Paul Gleason?
God, I love that movie.
Dan Aykroyd.
Star of Celtic Pride is
I
correct.
knew that. I wasn't sure what the character's name was, and I didn't want it to be a trick question.
All right, Jeff. And Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence share the screen as a loudmouth Harlem grifter, Ray
Life.
Nonsense Claude. In what 1999 film?
Man, you're good.
Here, Robert.
2 points for Jeff Sneider. Christian.
Good job, Robert, over there.
Robert's like,
Here, Mark.
Jeff now enjoying a 2-point lead as we careen into your penultimate Eddie Murphy question. And that would be, who plays Jerry Harris, a film producer looking to cast Beyonce's Dina in Dreamgirls?
Eddie Murphy?
No.
Is that too on the nose for a question?
There's no way.
I haven't seen Dreamgirls.
All right, I'll get through all 4 options and you can select your answer.
But I thought he was like the producer of that.
Yeah, no.
Okay, obviously he's not the answer.
D. Danny Glover or D. Keith Robinson?
Can you repeat the question?
Why do I want to say it's Krasinski?
I think it's Krasinski.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, JT rule.
Certainly. Who plays Jerry Harris, a film producer looking to cast Beyonce's Dina in Dreamgirls? You elected for multiple choice. Those options are, is it A, John Lithgow, B, John Krasinski, C, Danny Glover, or D, Keith Robinson?
Say, was
Keith Robinson?
That is incorrect. So we go to the party.
Was Dreamgirls, was it 2003?
Once again. In the world of
Somewhere around there.
Is Jerry Harris, a film producer looking
Maybe
to
04.
in Dreamgirls?
I was trying to think if Krasinski was in the right place at that time, career-wise.
Season Charlie.
Season Charlie is John Lithgow.
That was Lithgow.
Lithgow, huh? Interesting.
Tough question.
All right, Jeff still enjoying a 2-point lead over
harder than I thought it would be.
round number 3. This is your final question in the world of Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy and Robert De Niro play 2 cops who are paired for a reality police show.
Oh man, what is that called?
In what 2002 film?
I see the cover of it, the poster.
Oh, Robert, am I better than you on this question?
It's a nice cable channel as well. Christian, Jeff Sneider gets it correct. We
What
have
was
a
it?
4-point advantage for the
Showtime.
InSneider over the
Showtime.
Yes.
Lead it is by
Got
the
him.
InSneider as we get to round number 3.
Got
Mark,
him.
How does it go?
round number 3 is the round that will determine the match and who advances in the tournament.
Hey, I'm just glad they didn't ask any questions about the adventures of Pluto Nash. All right. Yeah, who cares?
All right, I got a 4-point lead. Is this more or less what you were expecting going into round 3? Do you think I could be up more?
This is still a good match. 4-point lead going into round 3 is still really close.
Biggest points of your tournament. So, Jeff, because you have a 4-point advantage, you can give us your 3 lucky numbers first. So, from 1 to 20, what feels fortunate?
These are going to be some sexy numbers. I know it.
Yeah, you can actually. You can defer if you want.
I would like to defer.
No one's ever done that before. So
You're such a gentleman.
That's interesting. No one's ever done that.
Made history, fellas.
Well, at this point, it's just really making the match longer. So, Robert, go ahead.
Dang it,
7,
Ellis.
3, and 11.
7.
Oh, good. You took his favorite numbers. Good job, Robert.
Bad numbers.
He did take 2 of my numbers. So.
Yeah.
Good for him.
It is going to matter.
Jeff, what do you got?
4, 8, 16.
4.
Oh, those
Sexy numbers.
garbage.
Yeah, sexy numbers.
60 seconds. Roxy, you got Jeff for 60 seconds.
We're waiting how long it's going to be
Jeff,
before the
love
shirt
that
says
move
those
at
are some
you.
sexy
I think
numbers.
You know exactly what this is right now. We're up by 4. This is a great place to be. Let's watch him just slowly take himself out of this game. You've got this. You have 2 JTE rules left. Use them when you need them. Take your time. Let it run down as far as you can before you ask for them, and just don't get in your head. You've got this. This is your game right now, 100%.
All right. So now 60 seconds, Sam, and talk to Robert starting now.
Dude, I can't believe he took a dump in his own bet on that, letting you pick 2 of his 3 favorite numbers. He had the lead. He just gave away that massive advantage. What a fool. What a fool. You got this. Too.
Only
Here's
if you
the
were
thing.
telling the truth.
The first 2 questions, then you got.
This is part of the interesting
and
part
he's
of
gotta
the
get
virtual
at
format
least one
where
question back, and I
he's
can't even
doing
begin
that
to tell
in front of
Snyder's
you and
history of
Roxy.
missing 5 pointers.
Yeah.
So yours.
Like,
This
because
match
typically,
is
like,
gonna be
if it were in
about
the
this.
studio,
All right,
A lot
good.
of ifs.
you wouldn't necessarily
Lot
be
of
doing it
ifs,
out loud in
okay.
front of the other
Advice
team
by
like
both
that.
managers as we put both of them in the waiting room and we start. So
And part of that's just played up for comedy.
we're gonna try to avoid the TKO
All
here
right,
as
Here
we
we go.
start
Coming down to
with
the wire.
category number 7, Robert. Category number 7, that would be the world of comic book movies. Comic book movies.
Ooh.
All right. Here it is. Your 2-pointer. In Venom, what former Cheers actor has a cameo as the murderous?
Oh, God. Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson, yeah.
Are you guys sure? Or were there other Cheers actors who ever
Yeah,
made
I'm
it into
positive.
movies?
I know Cletus Cassidy and Carnage. That's Woody Harrelson.
Were your brains farting?
Great.
I love Venom and Carnage.
First one. All right, here it is.
The
In
characters,
Venom,
not the movie.
what former Cheers actor has a cameo as the murderous Cletus
Come
Cassidy?
on. Sorry.
I mean, what is the point of having a Cheers actor there?
Venom.
5.
Venom. There's
What?
Garth with that throwback to our first
Oh,
stream for tonight.
Repeat the question, please.
Second one. In Venom, what former Cheers actor has a cameo as the murderous Cletus Cassidy?
He knows it. He just can't pull the name.
Scratching.
He sees it. He just can't pull the name.
5, 4, 3,
Oh, come on.
2, 1.
I can't.
Nothing. Woody Harrelson was the answer.
Woody. I
Woody.
keep going Willie. What the hell?
Woody Harrelson. All right, so now we get to your
Oof.
3-pointer.
I hate that. I've had that
That
doing
stings.
these reactions. I hate
Three
when
and
that happens.
That one stings.
So here is Robert's 3.
Can't miss 2 pointers against the InSneider fellas.
Horror here.
Yeah, you never want to miss the
And
2-pointer
that
either. Yeah.
would be
Those
next
are
question.
key 2 points.
Who directed the 1997
Guillermo del
sci-fi
Toro.
film Mimic?
You know why you got that one, Robert? Because it's an easy question.
Thanks. Thank you.
Five, 4, 3.
Repeat the question, please.
Last one. Who directed the 1997 sci-fi horror film Mimic?
I only know who's in it, not who directed it. Damn you, Woody! Mira Sorvino.
Incorrect. Looking for Guillermo del Toro. I just pulled the JT. Guillermo del Toro. Yes.
And a call back to you guys talking about visiting the Cheers bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
You
Pretty
like
much,
that,
yeah.
Garth? You like that, Garth?
Yeah.
Set that up.
Robert hits it. It bounces back to Jeff. However, if he misses it, Jeff Sneider and the Rockstars.
Montano misses his 2 and his 3. Am I about to get the TKO?
11. Remakes and reboots. Remakes and reboots. Here it is. Remakes and reboots. Who plays Chief Inspector Dreyfus in 2000?
Kevin
Jean Reno?
The Pink Panther.
Kevin Kline.
Oh, Kevin Kline.
Correct for 5 points.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know that I would have gotten that one, fellas. Nice one.
Back to
Oh.
Snyder. So we are in a position though.
You
Jeff
did make
Snyder-
me question it by saying Jean Reno. I was like, wait a minute. I
Yeah.
could have sworn it was Kevin Kline.
After and Draco wins his match. So, Mark, Jeff Snyder, he chose category.
Although I'm not
number
proud of the fact that I know anything about that movie at all whatsoever.
Harbaugh's NFL number corresponds to the 2000s, Jeff. 2000s movies is your category. And your question for 2 points, and more importantly, the win
Here we go.
to advance in the tournament. Catherine Bigelow directed Jeremy Renner and Anthony
Hurt Locker.
Mackie.
Hurt
in what
Locker.
2009
Yep.
war.
The Hurt Locker.
The Hurt Locker. I'm coming for you, Oyama. And your winner.
Nice use of the music, like all of a sudden coming up.
That's probably the sickest way I've ever seen anyone actually win so far.
Yeah.
Between you and what Eric did in the edit there, that was amazing.
That was really good.
Schmoedown match. Schmoedown match.
Jeff Sneider does it. He beats Robert Montano as the Rockstars once again.
I mean, I did the whole stand.
Yeah.
All right.
That was a good edit right there.
Massive win for Jeff Sneider. He's going to be playing the winner now of both Marisol McKee or Paul Oyama. I guess, Jeff, I don't have to ask you this because you said it in your post there.
Marisol McKee or Paul Oyama.
Let's see the rematch.
I want Paul Oyama.
See the rematch.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Let's see the rematch.
You're at the live event. Yes.
Bury him. I mean, this is just like the chef's kiss. Jeff, I am so obsessed with you. You are just such a joy to manage and be on the faction. You're incredible. I am scared to ask you this, but I do want to know what is on your notepad right now. What did you go scribbling down, Jeff Sneider, you crazy devil?
I didn't think that Robert was going to get the last question, so I wrote out.
All right, so we got a little bit caught. Okay.
What are you talking about?
Just writing it down. For those 3 points, though, thank you. What an amazing job you did. And honestly, Robert's a jerk, so I have no love lost here. He can go home and be upset about his lack of ability to get that 2 or 3 point. Woody, come on. I have a Woody right now based on him not getting that.
How about Christian in the and white men can't jump and natural born killers.
You got.
Oh my gosh. That's got to be up there for like quote of the year right now.
First of all, dummy, you just won the match.
Yeah.
Second of all, your 2-pointer was what Catherine Bigelow War movie.
It was easy. I get
So you both got easy 2-pointers. That's the point of the 2-pointer. So shut up. You won the match.
Right. We'll try to clean things up here. Another question. Jeff, it might be a little metaphorical. You put down TKO. You didn't end up getting the TKO. So maybe live by the sword, die by the sword.
All right, match number 2.
You know your next matchup, whether
Jeff versus Christian,
or whether you have a rematch against Oyama. There's going to be a lot more bulletin board material.
Christian hasn't played for a while.
So, in your own words, what exactly does bulletin board material and people doubting you do for you?
Kind of just like the verbal clapbacks, but
I feed off the hate. All the doubters who think that I can't beat Oyama. I was this close. I was a
and there's a whole lot of InSneider on the screen right now.
Bit away from beating him. Didn't realize he was going to
even more because in one of them he's not wearing a shirt.
Here to show what I can do and put him in his place like I should have the first time.
Well, you're really overlooking Marisol McKee, who had a nice victory there against Bonnie. Is there any chance that you think Marisol here can do this, Roxy? And or you guys are just set on Paul Oyama?
Oh, no, there's always a chance. There's always a chance. This is the movie trivia Schmoedown. We just hope that it's Oyama so that we can make him cry.
Oh,
yeah, I'm trying to will it.
Roxy looks super intense.
But I certainly wouldn't put anything past Marisol.
All right, well, last question.
It's also Roxy being diplomatic because she wants to sign Marisol next year.
I guess it's for both you guys. Roxy, this is another victory for you over Sam. And Jeff, you get a chance to beat Sam now as a
kind of starting to tune in to see what some of the managers are doing and how they're approaching and talking about other competitors.
I don't get the same joy from beating Sam that I do from like some of the true jerks in this league, like a Finstock or a Shannon, who are just horrible human beings. But I do definitely get that same feeling from beating Robert, who he's a crap talker and kind of mean. And actually,
I do like behind the curtain that everyone's like all friends behind the scene. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So Sam, I get a little bit of joy beating Robert. I get a whole lot of joy.
So everyone goes to the bar afterwards like, that was a good one.
Sneider. Look,
that was a good one.
You congratulations
got me.
This match today. You advance into the next round. You will be playing either Marisol McKee or Paul Oyama, and we'll see you soon.
Hey, Vanessa, call me.
Robert. Here, man. So this is the second loss here. The
That guy.
It was a tough one. I think managing and the advice going into the third round was absolutely stellar. And it was
Oh my god!
Times as we saw
The timing on being able to pull a person off of the stream right at that right after saying that crucial thing and then they're gone has been amazing in this virtual. That has to be up there with one of the best ones.
Over that.
Oh my god!
Every single player, multiple times.
That was good. That was good.
Roxy at the beginning of round 2, when or in the middle of round 2, when Sneider hit Spinner's Choice, she said, it's about time we got some good luck. And that's what this comes down to. It's luck. I mean, you're basically spinning the wheel 3 times.
Yes, Dan. Came down to luck, buddy.
Give seemingly random numbers and get random categories. So the luck sometimes goes your way. The luck sometimes doesn't go your way. And I know, he's going to beat himself up over that 2-pointer, but the 3-pointer, it just wasn't there. The luck.
I wonder if there's anybody who's going to be like,
factor every
I
time,
wonder if it would have been different
so
if
proud to have Robert on the team.
went
I
second
love
with his
having him as a
numbers.
member of this faction. And it just didn't go our way today, but I know it's going to go his way in the future.
Yeah, Robert, speaking on that, I don't usually butter up competitors, win or lose, but I do have to tell you, you're a credit not only to your name, but also to the Schmoedown. You started out as a fan, as a reactor, and you made it all the way to the big leagues, and you're staying put here. And the Schmoedown is not what it became unless we have people like you involved in the community. So hats off to you, my friend. When you look to the future of your destiny as it pertains to the Movie Trivia Schmoedown, anything you want to do differently heretofore that maybe you look back and say, if I had only done this or that leading up to this tournament?
Well, the crazy thing about the Schmoedown is you kind of set a trajectory of how you're going to study. And I watched a ton of movies. I have never seen them before. If you actually follow me on social networking, you'd see I was going through like a training regiment. Not one of those movies come up. Although they didn't end up in the Schmoedown, at least in this competition, I now have the knowledge of all those movies that I ended up watching. And when it comes down to it, I also watched a ton of Jeff Sneider's matches. Two of the questions, the Hurt Locker and Showtime, appeared in Jeff Sneider's matches. So of course he's going to know those now. So when it comes down to it, it's luck. I mean, if those questions now pop up again, he's going to know them. I knew them. I knew all his Eddie Murphy questions. But when it came down to like my 5-pointer, you could have asked for the original Chief Inspector Dreyfus, Herbert Lom, and I would have thrown that at him instead of Kevin Kline, which in my opinion was easier than Herbert Lom. That's how the Schmoedown plays out. That's how it lays. But you set up your trajectory, it happens, and sometimes the questions don't land in what you study.
Classy in defeat for sure, and looking for, I mean, I always prefer that type.
You only have so many movies you can study.
Did what I could do, what I will do.
Classy speech and defeat.
We pull each other's legs here in the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. Sam Levine always showing why he was one of the greatest of all time from the advice that he was giving in this match. There's no doubt about it when you listen and you see. But Sam, the season is clearly not over. There's a lot more on the table for you, but there's just a long road in general with the Schmoedown. I do have to ask this before I let you go. Is there anything this season, because you got thrown a bunch of curveballs this year, is there anything this season that you think you would have done differently, or like I said, it was just curveballs and you did and you handled what you had?
Yeah. I mean, look, there was no real way for me to anticipate, some of the things that happened. I don't know that there's much I would
pick Bibiani and the kid
have done that
first.
Differently. So no, man, I've just been working with it, and I'm actually really proud, mostly of
looking back,
my free agency pickups.
Probably would have gone with Shazam
Damon,
over the family.
To name just two of them, I'm really proud of that. I think they were and are great players, and it was crazy to me that they were.
Garth is saying in his bracket he has Sneider versus Andreyko at the end for odd couple face-off.
Wider.
That would be interesting. I mean, we got the corruption face-off in IG.
Playing who maybe isn't.
It could happen. I mean, I would demolish Andreyko, but
good asset for next year. But as far as this year, it is what it is. You play the cards you're dealt, not the cards.
Jeez.
I don't know. We'll see if I get that far.
And we will see you both very soon. Appreciate it. All right, Sam Levine and Robert.
That does make for
Montano
the
there.
more interesting matches
Look, I thought Robert
when
fought,
teams have to
very well as he was
essentially
coming back in that
face
second
off against
round.
each
They
other.
started throwing some scraps with Snyder.
Those are
JT got the best of me in that match. I thought I should have had him too.
Regardless, maybe he could have pulled that Del Toro if he had more confidence after hitting the 2. Maybe not. I think he was so kind of thrown off by not being able to recall that it threw
But
him
I mean,
off.
that's still a situation where I wish we had like the live events and everything, because like an Andrejko versus Snyder live event would be a ton of fun.
The usual suspects is this happens to everyone,
especially if Roxy's going to be there managing both of y'all at the same time.
We keep her in a cage between us.
But Montano, matter of fact, Christian, I think the fact that he was able to pull that 5-pointer under that amount of pressure and even throw Jeff Sneider off.
What are you doing that though? Like, you're doing a good job, you can beat him. You're doing a good job, you can beat him.
Jeff Sneider, he's advancing in the tournament.
Yeah, I don't know. She'd have a tough choice to make.
You know that him and Roxy, they're from Boston. They're going to have a celebratory swig of dirty water tonight and get ready for whoever it is.
Well, I can tell you for sure, Roxy Stryer, like she said, finally getting some luck here, because they were hurting this season, and they just got Andrejko and Snyder. Her 2 big dogs have shown up for her.
I know. I want to go back to Boston again.
That they would. So that's another 3 points for the Rock Stars, and here are the standings as they are today. All right, as you can see, there is a battle for the top, but it are teams like the Rock Stars who start to creep closer and closer and closer, and that's what she's looking to do. If Andrejko and Snyder both have runs here, there is a shot that Roxy Stryer and the Rock Stars could take first place if they have this run. It is not out of the realm of possibility.
That's true.
And I know Roxy knows that. For you guys, make sure all the pay-per-views that we have, everything that we have, you're a $10 patron, you get all of them. All the massive events that we do on the Schmoedown Throwdowns. When we come back to live events, all of it, the exclusive exhibition matches, you get them. And that's only for $10 a month. If you don't want to get the $10 a month tier, well, then you just go to the schmoedownlive.com and you can get the pay-per-views. Just go on over there, click on the button, get that link. Which event do you want? It's as easy as that. For the great Mark Ellis, I'm Christian Harloff. See you next time.
Fantastic match.
Well, there you go.
That was a good match. Very well played, sir.
Yeah, I mean, so right now I don't know where we don't want to like dive too deep into like what's being taped and what hasn't been taped yet, but because right now we don't know between Marisol or Oyama, but you come off of that win. How are you feeling right now going into round 2?
I mean, it's a nice confidence booster for sure, whether I play Paul or Marisol. I needed to shake some rust off, really. I hadn't played singles in a long time, it felt like. It was good to get back out there to get some practice in the virtual format. Just for, it was a nice, like I said, an appetizer in the Smack Talk promo.
Yeah, so kind of like piggybacking off what he said, please don't reveal anything, but do you already know who you're playing, and or has that already been filmed?
Do you really want to know the answers to these questions, Robert?
I mean, yeah, just a yes or no is fine.
A generality, not a specific.
I know who I am playing next, yes.
But it hasn't been filmed yet.
I cannot say one word.
You're trying to get the scoops from Jeff Sneider, man. What
the
are you
one
doing?
Who gets the scoops, I know. Touching upon that real quick, I know this is a little bit outside the Schmoedown. So when I'm talking to friends, family, coworkers about the Schmoedown, one of the things I typically tell them is like, hey, this is made up of people that are working in this industry, that it's made up of people who are like working for the news business, critics, actors, comedians. They're all a part of this. And then of course I have to talk about how Schmoedown has origin in Collider. And I'm talking about like how a lot of people who I talk to have no idea of the movie industry or anything. So when I'm talking about Collider, I was like, hey, Collider's one of the ones that when there's a late breaking like news scoop that like so-and-so's playing so-and-so in such and such movie, Collider's one of the first ones that's out there with that news. Typically, now, unfortunately, I can't explain this to everybody because they don't know, but typically when I'm saying that, what I'm saying is, yeah, Jeff Sneider is the one breaking this news on Collider to everyone. How is it being in that position? Like just being the one who gets to break that news a lot?
I mean, it's something I've been doing, I guess, for a really long time. So I've gotten to develop a good nose for it. I certainly don't break the same amount of news that I used to being at the trades, and that's just because the industry is designed to funnel its news to the trades, and it's very tough being at a smaller competitor and trying to compete with those legacy brands, whether it's Variety or Hollywood Reporter or Deadline. But you know what? That's the fun, is going out there every day and competing with the big boys and trying to steal food off their plate, and knowing that I'm not really expected to be doing that. Like it's fun being the underdog. It's frustrating at times. Believe me, Frosty and I have been very frustrated from time to time. But simultaneously, anything that we break, it feels like gravy to us.
Do you think, as far as like you're playing in the Schmoedown, that you kind of pull a lot from your experience doing that in that line of work, as far as like your competitor side?
I mean, it's a blessing and a curse, just because there are projects I get asked about, and like the title was different than when I was tracking it or reporting it, or I know the 4 actors who I thought were this close to getting the role, and so it like doesn't register who ultimately wound up with it. I'm just like, I know so much development news. I know like the alternate answers for all these questions that are being asked. So sometimes I confuse my history, but at the same time, I can't deny that it definitely helps having written. You read things and everybody absorbs those things, but if you're writing those things every day and researching those kinds of things, I think it's definitely more helpful than someone who has a regular day job.
So, like you're touching upon, like, say you might get word that such and such actor is on the cusp of being signed to such and such big project movie, and then you might not hear about too much about that movie anymore. But all that's sticking in your mind is just that actor was supposedly going to play that part.
Oh yeah, when I
see
movies, I watch them and I'm like, oh yeah, that was almost this person or that person, or the entire cast got swapped out or something because of financing or scheduling, and so it just sometimes your mind plays tricks on you like that.
So I think what the takeaway there for us then is that it's a little bit more impressive than when you're nailing these like correct answers back and forth, and everyone needs to know like, oh, he's working through like several other almost possible answers to get to that.
That's just with the recent stuff, obviously, in the last decade. When I'm answering a question about an 80s or 90s or 2000s movie, I don't have that kind of history. But in the last decade, I know where all these projects started, really. And so it is a little bit different.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I always like hearing kind of like some of the thoughts and the strategy plays from people who have been in the game for a while. I know we talked earlier about just how do you feel about how the game's evolved and everything, but also just kind of like how do you feel like maybe of, I know I saw a backstage earlier today also, I know that kind of touched on this a little bit. Yeah.
That was the face of someone who knew they were on backstage earlier today.
Here's the thing: always fun when you pop up on backstage. Always fun. Ben Damon loves to antagonize me. This guy invites me on his show and then just talks shit for an hour and a half.
He knows what gets the views.
But okay, so let me ask you. I'm going to ask the three of you right now. Who or the two of you? Who are the 3 stars of Money Monster?
Money Monster was George Clooney. Was it Julia Roberts? And then I can't remember who the actual guy was that was.
I want to say Clive
in the
Owen.
studio. No, not Clive Owen. It was the other guy who's actually in the studio, taking over the studio and whatnot. I can't remember who it was.
So his name is Jack O'Connell.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I broke that casting story. So, like, if I get asked that, it's like, oh, yeah, I obviously am more likely to get it having broken that news. And so I guess that does give me an advantage over a lot of people in the Schmoedown.
Okay.
But that's why, like, new releases is going to always be a strength of yours in that case.
I mean, I also see just more movies than just about anyone I know. Like, new releases. Not like going back to watch all 8 Harry Potters for the 16th time with a notebook. I'm talking about the new stuff.
So, okay, given that as an idea, of course, everyone that you play against, they know who you are, they know what your job is, they know that something like new releases is going to be a major strength of yours. Like, how is it that how often do you see people are behind the scenes? Because a lot of this, like, strengths and weaknesses are usually kept pretty close to the chest in the Schmoedown. Not everyone is doing a reaction channel where they're reacting and answering the questions while playing, and therefore giving away their strengths and weaknesses right off the bat. How is it? How do you see people playing with, like, perceived strengths and weaknesses just because everyone knows who each other are behind the scenes?
I mean, as far as playing that, what we're really talking about is what we're going to put on the wheel. So, are you going to put your strengths on the wheel, or are you going to put your opponent's weaknesses on the wheel? Like, what are you playing, offense or defense? And so that's where the strategy comes in. And normally I go with, you're always playing offense. You're always trying to score points. And so you want to put categories that you're familiar with. But let's just say in the next match, I'm going to be flipping the script.
Nice. So, question from the chat. Garth is saying, do you worry about opponents putting the animated movie slice on the wheel?
I mean, listen, I report on a lot of animated movies. I see the big titles, like the Pixar stuff. I don't really see, like, the stuff that's for little kids, because I don't have little kids. I'm a grown-ass man. So that's how you want to beat me, with a barrage of How to Train Your Dragon questions. I'm not going to sit there and watch the How to Train Your Dragon. I'm sure they're all great. I've heard they're wonderful. I have no interest in ever watching a How to Train Your Dragon movie. I don't care how many questions they ask about it. If it's not on Wikipedia, I don't know.
Agreed. I don't think either one of us have seen those movies, and
life's too short to watch a movie that you don't want to watch when there's an infinite amount of things that I could be watching. Like, all because I might get a question in the Schmoedown. I'd rather live with the sliver of possibility that it gets asked and I get stumped.
Yeah. I think kind of like the last thing I want to hit on, really, honestly, is that I know, again, going back to backstage, I believe it was said on backstage today, but I know in general that you stated about how studying just isn't, it's just not your thing. You're one of those that just know. Yeah, you know what you know. It's not, you're not spending. I know. I feel like you even said it here. You're not spending a whole lot of time with, like, binders and flashcards and whatnot. This is not what you do, not what you have time for, kind of a thing. I don't know where I was going with that.
Something about studying. Maybe
he doesn't study. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's. I think it's kind of. It's more less of a question, more of a comment. I think it's fascinating, especially because you look at the run you've had in the Schmoedown, how long you've been around, how successful you've been within the Schmoedown itself. It is something to note of being impressed by the fact that you are doing this. You have had those runs. You've stayed successful without having done what all the kids are doing nowadays, which is busting out those flashcards and opening up the binders and everything. So I just want to say, like, essentially as a compliment to you, to your gameplay, to everything, that you're able to do that without doing studying. It's a huge thing.
Every day almost is like studying to me. If I'm writing 4 casting stories a day, then I'm clicking on 4, possibly more actors' IMDb pages and going through that, and coming up with that credit paragraph about he's best known for this, and then he's appeared in this. Like, so it's not that I'm not studying. I just don't call it studying. I call it working.
It's just not being done intentionally.
It's my job to study. Yes, it's my job to know everything that has happened, is happening, and will happen.
Very fair. Well, do you have any other questions for him?
I feel like that's like my dream job right there. Just I want to talk about movies all day, every day. I want to get paid to talk about movies. I think that would be fantastic.
It can be exhausting, and you can fall out of love with those movies. When you fall out, like I have peeked enough behind the curtain where some of the magic, I'm not saying all of it, because when all of the magic is gone, it's time for me to retire.
Right.
But it does kill some of the magic when you're up there and you hear directors and they're like, oh, this so-and-so is just, they were my first choice. And, I sent them the script. They were the only person I had in mind. I'm like, you tried to get 4 other guys in this movie. Like, give me a friggin' break. Like, some of it's just only baloney. It's Hollywood. But that is what we all love.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the replay. Anyone who's watching, if y'all got any questions, make sure y'all throw them in the chat, the Streamlabs super chat. If y'all have any questions for us, while we're waiting for final questions to come in, Jeff, if you have anything you would like to plug.
I don't really have anything to plug. I mean, I hope that you guys will sincerely bookmark my blog, which I've been running since 2007 or 8, the InSneider.blogspot.com. And I just do my Oscar predictions and stuff there, and I keep my running movie list of the year. So a lot of people go on Letterboxd, right? And these are all the movies that I watched, and here are the ratings. I do it my own way. It's the same way every year. It's not going to change. And you can just bookmark it and find great recommendations. Because people are always asking, what do I watch? What do I watch? Well, here's a list that gives you my opinion on every single movie I watched this year.
Yeah. Do you ever worry about publishing something like that? I know like some Schmoedown competitors are against Letterboxd. Do you ever worry about publishing something like that and someone's gonna be like, oh, so we know what Jeff has or hasn't seen?
I have a life beyond the Schmoedown and readers, and I can't. I guess I live my life pretty publicly, and if a competitor is smart enough to be checking out my blog to see what I'm watching, then good for them.
Very fair.
Yeah.
I've got my Cameo thing. If you guys ever want to order a Cameo, I'm super cheap and I make them fun, and that's really it. Check out the byline on Collider.
There you go.
And the podcast on Thursdays, obviously. Blah 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 blah. But that's not for everybody. That's an acquired taste.
What do you also have? You had your show, the Sneider Cut.
Yes, the Sneider Cut. That's the title of the podcast.
Yeah.
Way to capitalize on that name.
Right.
I like to control. The Sneider Cut fans.
You're like, oh, look, this name is like actually like commonly talked about now because they introduced that HBO thing. Like, hey.
Who do you guys have winning the tournament this year, the singles tournament? It's okay. You don't have to say me.
Oh. Here's the thing.
I can look at it.
I don't think we've actually sat down and like looked at it and predicted.
You didn't have an episode where you went through the whole bracket?
We did through like say round 1. We kind of went through like the round wonders, but I don't think we've actually sat down and really tried to forecast who we have winning the entire tournament.
I don't claim to have enough cojones to try to predict from the very beginning who's actually going to win the whole thing. We like to go round by round and see who's in the next round. Okay, let's make our predictions now.
Especially because we're talking about like 30 some odd competitors in this. I don't think we've ever seen a tournament that has this many people in it like this. Like even the past singles tournaments haven't been this big. So, especially
did a poor job creating the bracket.
No, it's huge. Now, granted, there's also a lot of play-in matches, and at the time that this started, there were also a lot of matches that depended on who was winning the live events, the throwdowns. So, it was really hard to kind of narrow down some of these.
My corner of the bracket had me, Oyama, Riley, and Kalinowski. That's good enough to be 4 number 1 seeds on any given day. I don't understand how 4 of those people wind up in the same corner of the bracket. Christian needs to learn how to make a bracket.
Okay, so I mean, I see that. Now, here's the thing, in all honesty. Perry won her match.
She did. So maybe he knew what he was doing better than I do.
We still have Marisol versus Oyama. So, I mean, that could go either way. I mean, I want to say,
Robert.
Here's the thing. I'm completely, as a person who does reactions to this, I want to be surprised. We look at these and we vote based off of like who has the knowledge that we've been watching this. We've been reacting long enough. We know who the competitors are. We know who has the knowledge going into this. But there's also there's that part of you that's like, I really want to see the upset. For example, absolutely love Mark Riley. Fantastic. I sat next to him at the draft and was like, hey.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, I absolutely love Mark Riley. I want to see the Video Drew upset, though. Like, just because that would just be awesome to see. But I mean, how I understand how that plays for someone like Mark Riley to hear that, like, hey, we believe you could win, but we want to see the upset.
Well, everybody wants to see more of Video Drew. She's hugely entertaining.
Yeah.
That's a big piece of it, yeah.
So yeah, all the brackets there in like your quarter are huge, but yeah, ultimately at the end of the day, I would like to see some upsets just because I know that's what makes tournaments interesting. I think whether you win or lose, I think at the end of the day, people know that, and that's what really helps build the fans.
I think
Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I think to go back to your question as far as just like if I were to pick one, like if I'm going to pick a name that's not Jeff Sneider out of the hat of competitors here that could win this, I would probably pick Bibiani because I feel like that's one of those names that just it makes complete sense for.
Bibiani's intimidating, man. He's intimidating.
He knows a ton. Knows a lot.
Very good.
I mean, looking at the other quarter, yeah, I think just looking at those, I think you probably have the strongest amount of competitors in your corner, in your quadrant of the bracket.
Oh, yeah, because I'm Jeff Sneider, and that's the kind of luck I have in the Schmoedown.
Yep. All right. Well, I don't see any more questions here in the chat, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. You want to go ahead and drop the plugs for us like you usually do?
Yes. So today is Tuesday night. It was Two Stream Tuesday. Earlier tonight, we did the tagline because every Tuesday nights we do the tagline. That is our show where the tagline is titled. We talk about movie news. We had some fun talking about movie stuff earlier tonight. So make sure you go back and watch that. Come back every Tuesday. Also, we are doing, while this tournament is going on, we are doing these live Schmoedown replay reactions. Hopefully, typically with someone watching along with us.
Every night.
Every single night.
Every night.
Yeah, and this has been a blast. Tonight's has been, honestly, has been one of my favorites. So make sure y'all come back. Tomorrow night, we have, since I happen to have the bracket up, let's go take a look at that real quick. Where's it at on here? I can't even tell what corner we're in.
Tomorrow let's just say.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, tomorrow night is the Barbarian versus Whitney Seibold. Tomorrow night we will be joined by the Barbarian on the replay. So come back tomorrow night. We'll get the Barbarian's thoughts, insights into that match as well. Yeah. Otherwise, make sure you come follow us on social media. We are at Cinefanatics MLP, Robert Adams MLP, Chris Adams MLP. Follow us. That's Twitter, Instagram, all the fun stuff there. And yeah, I think that's about it. Anything else you think we need to cover? Oh, Patreon. Make sure you jump on the Patreon. We got Washington coming up.
Donate to the Cinefanatics Patreon. Garth, Crip Camp, and Possessor were the answers to your question. Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, the question he had.
Did we miss it?
I got you. I got you, Garth.
Got it. There it is.
Yeah.
Crip camp.
Anyways. Yeah. So that's going to do it for tonight. Those of y'all in the chat, thank you for watching. Thank you for participating, for your questions and everything. Please come back. We want to see y'all again. As for my brother, as for Jeff Sneider, thank y'all for watching. Y'all have a great evening.
Being here. Thank you so much, Sneider, for being here, for hanging out with us.
Yes.
Appreciate
y'all
it.
all have a good evening. And
Later. Good night.
Bye.